Hey friends, like I said in my recent video about churches around Elizabethtown, Kentucky, 2016 to 2017, I have moved a lot in my adulthood, visited more churches than most to find where to plug in, kept ranked lists with note comments, and I thought I would share some of these lists to hopefully help any churches and leaders identify what areas could be improved in their ministry, especially to visitors. In that Hardin County video, the things I most observed were the teaching, the music, the people, and the amenities. And the thing I think is most important is the welcome given or not received. That's on the part of the people. Are you practicing hospitality and common sense more than just preaching about love and care? In this video, I'm going to share the list from where I lived from 2019 to 2022 and visited 49 churches in and around Lexington, Kentucky. 2019 was spent leading some skate churches, 2020 was spent visiting and pastoring a church, and 2021 to 2022 was back to visiting and eventually plugging into a great house church. I'll tell my visit impressions from best to worst, indicating the line below which I simply wouldn't be able in good conscience to recommend, sharing my comment notes, and explaining some of them, and even telling some humorous stories to go along with some of them. I made these lists originally primarily for my own sake, but again, perhaps hearing these things will help you and your church. Two things I should note. One, pictures will accompany most of these visit reports, but sometimes I forgot to snap picture proof. And two, these visits were mostly between 2019 and 2021, and the coronavirus hit right in the middle, and some churches handled it better and some worse than others. More on that as we go. All right, so here's the list. Here we go. Number 1, the Salvation Army, Lexington. It's not just a thrift store chain, it's a worldwide denomination. And my notes just say excellent music and message. Number 2, Nicholasville Skate Church at Lake Mingo Park in Nicholasville, Kentucky, which I led with some friends. All I wrote for notes was 5 p.m. is a little hot still in the summer, but we eventually skated in a leader's basement for the winter of 2019. Number 3, Hillendale Simple Church, Lexington. Eventually, this is the one that I plugged into from 2021 to 2022. What I wrote at the time was food, friends, fellowship, kid-friendly, almost too much so, impractical discussions sometimes though. But like I said, I came to love and plug into that church for a long time. Number 4, Roberts Family Simple Church, Nicholasville. I wrote food, friends, pretty deeply spiritual, a lot of popcorn praying, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., a lot of toddlers. Number 5, Porter Memorial Baptist, Lexington. Decent church, very modern songs, completely sealed monkey box, not personally greeted though. What's a monkey box? That's what I call the plexiglass cage that churches put around drummers who either can't demonstrate self-control or leaders who can't say, hey, quiet down. There's that. Number 6, New City CMA Church, Lexington. That's Christian Missionary Alliance. I just wrote 4 p.m. Sundays, 25 to 30 in attendance. Number 7, Liberty Baptist Church, Buckeye. I wrote down 13 regulars, a cappella hymns, hard pews, little parking, long drive, nice folks though. I actually went on to pastor this church and put them back on the map and on track in 2020 and 2021. Number 8, Kingdom Life Fellowship, Nicholasville. This is a recovery ministry church, karaoke music, active altar call response, no coronavirus fears. Amen. Number 9, Catalyst Christian, Nicholasville. I wrote, message was great, music needed a lot of balancing, they're gonna need a bigger space. Number 10, Midland Community Church, Shelbyville. Need a bassist, coffee and donuts, good preaching, metal chairs, singer needs to move closer to the music stand. Number 11, Christ Church Cathedral, Lexington. I wrote, visited a monthly evensong, very relaxing and enjoyable. Just sit instead of up and down though. Yeah, that would be nice. Number 12, Macedonia Christian Church, Lexington, 10:30 a.m. contemporary, need a bassist, locked door during message, kept my son from going to the bathroom. Odd. Number 13, Edgewood Baptist, Nicholasville, 10:30 a.m. to question mark, nice enough folks, music was okay but could be better. Number 14, First Christian Church, Lexington. I wrote, the two guitarists were powerful, but were playing louder than their singing. Okay. 15, Southern Heights Baptist Church, Lexington. I wrote, pastor, wife, and youth ministry staff were very friendly and nice. All right. 16, Emmanuel Baptist Church, Lexington. It's basically a mega church in Lexington. They have a divorce care group, and I wrote communication could improve. I think that was having to do with their website. Number 17, Wollaston Baptist in Paint Lick, Kentucky. I wrote, it's in the boonies, but it's packed. A lot of young, hymns done on the piano. Number 18, New Life Community in Lexington, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m., Wesleyan, and I wrote different. But I don't think it was very welcoming, and it felt kind of cold and awkward in there. Number 19, Irishtown Baptist Mission in Lexington, 3:30 p.m. Sunday, white ghetto, very few in attendance, but nice folks, and two hymnals got to be fixed. Perhaps they were using two different hymnals, which can be a little bit awkward and confusing. Number 20, Cornerstone Baptist Church, Lexington. I wrote, pianist and song leader doing old slow hymns very fast, hard to catch breath. I went on to actually do a lot of ministry there in that church, so thanks, folks. Number 21, Evangelical Methodist Church, Lexington. I wrote, 3 p.m., recovery group, no singing, just 14 of us. Woman leader was 15 minutes late. Yikes. Don't be late. And underneath here, apparently, is where I thought I cannot recommend any of these, including number 22, Lexington Skate Church at Berry Hill Skate Park. This was actually a skate church that I led in the fall of 2019. I wrote, Berry Hill is not my favorite park, but worse, the interest disappeared in the fall of 2019. Yeah, it got cold, so I can understand that. And nobody volunteered to let us meet in their home. And eventually, thank God, we wound up doing skate church in the basement of my friend Josh Roberts in Nicholasville. Number 23, Lexington City Church, Lexington. I wrote, nice place, a Sunday worship night, no message or interaction, and the word worship was used XXXX a lot of times. What I mean by that is they never once said music, they just referred to music as worship only as music. Worship is a lot of things other than just music, y'all. It's getting preoccupied with God, getting focused on God, getting centered on God, not just music. Worship is not only music. Get off my soapbox here. Number 24, Southland, Richmond Road, Lexington. This was a satellite campus megachurch, around 1,000 in attendance, very smooth, quite good. Number 25, Jesmond Christian Church, Nicholasville, 9 a.m. traditional, 10:30 contemporary, coffee. I didn't know any of the songs, longish message, house lights should be on. It was kind of dark inside there. It was a little weird. Number 26, East Frankfort Baptist, Frankfort. I wrote music minimal, message packed a lot in, and divorce ends/prevents me doing music ministry here. 27, Graceway Baptist Church, Lexington. And I wrote, music needs help, message long with corny jokes and people bored. Greeted lots though. All right. Number 28, Center Point Church East, Lexington. I wrote, tour guide at the door, coffee and donuts, new music, young average age for the crowd, good message, cold air conditioning. I do remember how freezing it was in there. 29, Crossroads Church on Todd's Road, Lexington. And I wrote, it's a satellite church, music creative but loud, leaders rocking but not engaging. Apparently they weren't making much eye contact with people. They had coffee and a woman pastor. Number 30, Grace Point Church, Richmond. And I wrote, young crowd, packed house, greeting game very weak, air conditioning was very loud, but they had refreshments. And 31, Waco Baptist Church, Waco, Kentucky. I wrote, lots of people were very friendly, music was so-so, interim pastor was decent. Number 32, New Hope Baptist Church, between Lexington and Winchester. This was actually pastored by my friend Barry Proctor. I wrote 20-ish people, karaoke music in good keys though. All right, 33, Royal Springs Baptist in Georgetown. I wrote, started later than usual late, music and message okay, multiple special music songs, more parking needed. Number 34, Corinth Baptist Church, Winchester. I wrote, 12 regulars, could hold 200, hymns, nearly irrelevant message from Daniel 12 about the end times. Number 35, Riverview Baptist Church, down on the Kentucky River. I wrote, one of the most countryest churches I've ever been to. Nice folks, but behind the times. Number 36, Broadway Baptist, Lexington. This is a funny story. They advertised on Veterans Day a 5:30 to 7:30 meal for veterans. So I got there at 7 thinking I'd avoid the line, but the meal ended at 6:30 and they were having a revival service from 6:30 to 7:30. I thought that was kind of misleading. Number 37, Forks of Dix River Baptist in Lancaster. I wrote 40 to 45 on a Sunday night, all hymns, nice enough folks, air conditioning was too cold. Number 38, New Hope Baptist in Versailles, Kentucky. I wrote 10 singers on the stage, along with a piano and an organ. That's a lot of singers. Not a choir either. They were spread out all across the stage. Number 39, Hyattsville Baptist Church in Lancaster. I wrote 50 on a Sunday night, guest preacher candidate, and I was greeted enough. Number 40, Pinkard Baptist between Versailles and Lexington. I wrote, unimpressed by their disorganized state, not greeted too much. Oops. Sorry guys, come on now. 41, Russell Cave Road Baptist, Lexington. I wrote, the most country church I've ever been to. Number 42, Shawhan Baptist Church in Paris, Kentucky. I wrote, only 15 there, slow hymn playing in yuck original keys. 43, Bethel Baptist in Frankfort. I wrote, only 18 to 19 there, website / signage had the wrong time. Oops. We sang to a CD, pointless message, but they had a lot of facilities. Big building, I guess. Number 44, Mount Pleasant Baptist in Keene, Kentucky. I wrote quartet music, message repetitive but okay, confusing coronavirus red and green tape. They had some of the pews like marked off and it was confusing. Number 45, Salem Baptist in Shelbyville. I wrote rock hard pews, music was weak, message was wannabe historic, inaccurate / political. Oops. Number 46, Boones Creek Baptist in Athens, Kentucky. I wrote King James Version, pianist and hymns, 3-year interim pastor. Number 47, Heritage Baptist, Lexington. I wrote weak greeting game, lifeless music and message. Yikes. Number 48, Clarksville Baptist, Richmond. I wrote 7 members there, hymns in original keys, not truly greeted by any of the men. Weak. There was only 7 of you all there. Here, I'll tell a funny story. I was actually recommended to go to that church because I heard they were looking for a pastor from the director of the association. I drove an hour with my son and my friend, Cody, And at some point during the announcements, someone said, where are you boys from? And we said, Lexington. And they said, and you came all the way down here? And they just said, you passed a lot of churches between there and here, didn't you? And they said, well, I guess we'll let you stay. I was blown away. They didn't think, why did these three dudes drive an hour to visit our church? They didn't ask us why. They didn't take and get to know us. And the very next week, I visited Liberty Baptist in Buckeye, where I went on to pastor. So Clarksville Baptist, you lost out. 49, here we go. This is another funny story. Bible Baptist Church in Lexington. Turns out it was 15 80-year-olds who were hiding from the coronavirus, not allowing visitors, and not diplomatic on the phone, and even their signs out front of their building were empty. I really wanted to visit this church. I had a couple phone conversations, but like I said, they weren't allowing any visitors at the time, and they weren't too diplomatic about it. All right, there you go. I hope that helps someone out there do better at serving the Lord and your church visitors. God bless.